I'm Danny, and this is the Scream Princess podcast. Hello there, everybody. I'm Danny, and you are watching the Scream Princess podcast. And this is, well, I was going to say it's my penultimate episode for 2025. But I realized that due to some kind of witchery, there are actually 53 Wednesdays in 2025, and the podcast goes out on a Wednesday. So I was thinking, I'm recording 52 episodes, but I'm going to do like an extra bit for the last one. But anyway, I'm here today with director Geoff Harmer. How are you doing?
Hey Danny, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And this is take two.
Yeah.
But I like talking to you. So we did this the other night and then we had a technical issue. So we're back recording again. We'll probably cover some of the same stuff. Have
Yeah.
you, in the interim, polished your knowledge on the lyrics to Umbongo?
I did sing it to myself in the car the other day and it all came flooding back, but
Did
now you
it?
put me on the spot. Um, I'm not sure if it's gonna work,
We'll
but
see.
let's see.
We'll
Let's
get
see
to
how we
that.
go.
We'll get to that
Yeah.
later. We'll chat first and we'll get to that later. So you're in a different location. So you're at work right now
I am.
in a
Yes. In
sound
my
room.
studio where we got
Amazing.
these lovely acoustic tiles.
Yes.
Yeah,
So I
so
actually bought
funky.
some of those for filming last year because I turned this room into a kind of like studio for a band for a short film. And I kept
Yeah.
them under the bed because I thought I've got, a bed with drawers. And I thought, well, they might come in handy if I'm recording sound for anything. And then I kept finding little chewed up bits of foam, and the cats have just annihilated them. And they do the
Oh
same
no.
with my washing up sponges. So my sponge in the kitchen has to live in a Tupperware jail because otherwise they just chew it up and spit it out all over the house.
I thought you were going to say something like mice or something, but then you've
No,
got
not
cats. So
mice.
you're
I've got two
mice.
cats, so I'd hope not mice. No. We've been joined by a different one. I don't think you can't see her. She's just off camera now. Magic is
Oh,
here today. We had midnight the other day, didn't we? But Magic,
we
he is
did,
in here.
yeah.
He's on the other side of the room having a wash.
And you have a different mug, just as
Yes,
big though.
this is the other one. It's kind of like the same style but different pattern. This is like the mystical one with the
Right.
snakes and the stars and things. Yes.
So I don't have a mug today.
Don't have
I've
a
just
mug.
got a water bottle.
Mm-mm.
I
I
know.
am.
That's so cool.
This is why I don't wear white t-shirts. I've just poured tea down it. Luckily, I poured it. Luckily, I poured it on the brown bit of the print, so
Right.
it's actually okay. I've gotten away with it. But
On
my tea's already
Dundee's
been in the
chip.
microwave. Yeah, I think I saved myself. Oh no, there's a little bit there. Whoops. Yeah,
It
this is
doesn't
why white
show.
t-shirts get folded up and left in the back of the wardrobe. Hence all the creases because I
But
don't.
maybe you wanted to explain why you're wearing a Crocodile Dundee 2
Yes,
t-shirt.
well, Geoff also has a podcast called Too Orangey for Crows, based on the Kiora ad from way back
Yeah.
when. And I was a guest on Jeff's podcast, and we talked about Beetlejuice. I think this was it your second episode.
Yes, yeah, it was.
Second episode, we were talking Beetlejuice and how we got into the conversation of Crocodile Dundee. I don't know,
Oh,
but
because that was the first episode.
there you go. So he was telling me about the first episode, Crocodile Dundee, and I said Crocodile Dundee 2 is my favorite. I mean, it's one of my favorite films, both of them. But I do think 2 is far superior to 1, which is really, really rare because usually the sequel's never as good as the original. But I've
Yeah.
actually just put a poll out today on Instagram, literally
Yeah.
just before we started, and 2 people have already said they prefer Crocodile Dundee 1. So I could be on my own on this.
Oh. Do you know, because before we did the episode on Crocodile Dundee 2, I made sure I watched 1 and then 2.
Mm,
Um, and I must admit, I found them just as good as each other.
right.
But do you know there's a third?
You're not committing, are you, to either?
No. But there's a Crocodile Dundee 3,
There is.
and
And
I've never seen it.
yeah, you don't need to.
Have you seen it then?
Yeah, I actually do have it. I have it
Oh, wow.
on DVD. But I mean, it was a long time after the first 2. his
Yeah.
humor was kind of the same, but they're in LA and it's, it's different. It's not bad. I
Okay.
don't hate it, but I think because I mean you can tell that it's, some were made in the 80s, these are made like, I don't know, they're in the noughties or something. You can tell it's just a different way of filmmaking, and it's just got a different vibe. I mean, I don't hate it. I could watch it. But it's yeah, it's not on par with the other two. And
I like the
have you seen the I think it's called The Very Marvelous Mick Dundee?
that's like the unofficial like fourth episode, isn't it? It's kind of a bit like
It's
um
no, it's Paul Hogan
documentary
playing
style.
himself
Yeah.
rather than Mick Dundee, but people think he's Mick Dundee. And obviously at this point he's like, I don't know, in his 70s or is he 80? I don't know how old he is now. He must be in his 70s. So he's a lot older and he's kind of bumbling, but he's got the same kind of
Yeah.
humor, which in the 80s you get away with. And I still think it's funny because I'm not woke and I think people should be able to laugh at stuff. But some of it is very like, oh, can you get away with that?
Yeah.
Like, but you can because it's comedy and comedians have to be able to do that. It's worth a watch. I mean, it's again, it's
Yeah.
not as good as Crocodile Dundee, but it's worth a watch. I would give it a go. I think it was on Prime for free when I watched it, so worth a
Oh,
watch.
okay. I mean, is we did talk about it in the podcast, and I know it's like John Cleese is in it, isn't he? I think it's John Cleese.
I can't remember.
Um,
Yes,
yeah. So, I mean, I will hunt it down at some point,
yeah.
but it's not high on my list of
Oh, you might quite
priorities.
like it. You might like it. It might surprise you.
Mm, might do.
It might do.
Not
I mean, it
really
might not.
the sort of thing I would purposely hunt down.
I mean, I'm not going to spoil it, but the end was exactly what you wanted. I was like, yes. So,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, you've got to
Interesting.
watch the whole film for the payoff, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But
I
is
like
it the thing is that's the thing with films, you can have a really good film, but if the ending's rubbish, you'll remember
yeah,
how bad it was. But if you have a bad film with an amazing ending, then you
yeah,
remember the ending. So that's
yeah,
why there are a lot of films out there that I mean, like the perfect example for me is The Mist,
right.
which I think is an all right film, but the ending is so incredibly good,
Mm,
you kind of forget and forgive
yeah,
whatever came before it.
yeah,
But then there are some films that are amazing, but they just really ruin the ending, and you kind of go, oh no,
yeah. At the end, you're like, what? Wait, why?
yeah. So we all the build up for that, you know.
Yeah.
Um, I
Somebody
prefer
actually asked me
prefer
this
the good
question because I've got this random extra Wednesday to put a podcast out for the year. I said, well, I'm
yeah.
not going to ask any more guests because I'd kind of wrapped it up and I've already said on the last show that, this is the last show, blah, blah, blah. So I said, I'm just going to do like Q&A so people can send questions in and I'll do like a little bit where I answer stuff, but also the guests can send in, like Happy New Year's and plug what they're working on now because some of the guests obviously earlier this year, they'll have been doing lots of new
Mm.
stuff between. And somebody did actually ask me the question, what horror film would you change the end of? And I'm like, I don't know.
Ah,
I mean, I'm going to film this next week, so I've got time to, have a good
got time to
think.
think about it.
Yeah, but I tend to forget what I've seen really. I'm not good at remembering stuff.
Currently if that was me, if I was answering that question, am I allowed to answer the question?
Yeah, you can ask the question.
Okay, cool. So I would say there's a film that came out called Together.
Right, haven't seen it.
Um, Came out this year, and I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was incredibly creepy. Had some really good moments in it, but I really dislike the ending to it. And it's one of those examples of where it was a good build up, but the ending really didn't pay off.
Mm,
I kind of get what they were trying to do, but it was like the only real big effects moment in the film, and I don't think that the effects, excuse me, I don't think it worked. And if I was changing something, I would just this year, I would look at
mm,
that film and try and come up with a better ending. So that was
right.
Together. It's good. It's a pretty good film up until the ending, which
Yeah,
it just I was a bit like
yeah.
as
It
soon as you
may.
kind of knew where it was heading, you kind of switch off a bit and go, oh,
Mm,
okay. it was really good up until then.
Yeah, it does happen. It does happen. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to have a good think about what I've been watching and what film. I don't know. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything.
Okay. Are you going to go and see Five Nights at Freddy's? Let's be
No,
honest here.
I So we hadn't seen the first one. Um, Kyle actually went to take his son, but he wasn't 15 and he didn't get in. But then his brother
Oh,
took him, like his brother took him and they did get in. So they watched it and Kyle didn't. So we put it on the other day, the first one, and we got about half an hour in and we just sacked it. It wasn't for us.
yeah. I did see it with my youngest son.
Does he play the
He
computer game
loved it.
though?
Sorry?
Did he play the computer game? It's based on
Yeah.
a, yeah. So this is it. I'm like, I've
Yeah.
never been a gamer, and so I think it just doesn't appeal to me. I don't know the characters, and
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I love
So
Matthew Lillard, like obviously Scream alumni
yeah.
and Shaggy from Scooby Doo. Like he's great and he's good in everything, and he was good. But I just the silly characters and yeah, no.
Yeah. Well, I really didn't like the first one, but I'm being dragged to see it this evening.
Oh
So,
no.
oh.
Have you played
It's
the game?
nothing
Are you a
worse than.
gamer? Are you a gamer?
Yes. I mean, look what I'm wearing on my chest. Is you got Bubble and Bobble.
Oh,
These are characters
that's
from
what I call
a
mine too.
1980s video. Say again.
I said that's what I call mine too.
Oh, really? Yeah, this is Bubble and this is Bobble.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I do. I actually teach game design as one of
Ah,
the courses I teach
of
here.
course you
So
do the VR
um,
stuff, don't you?
I do. Yeah. So I
Mm,
do lots of sort of weird and wonderful things. So yeah, I mean, a lot of my friends are in the gaming industry.
right.
Um, I used to make sort of basic video games back in the day on my ZX Spectrum and my Commodore 64. Haven't really sort of done anything sort of more modern, more
Mm,
than filmmaking really. But I know a fair bit. I like playing video games.
yeah.
Um, but I'm a bit of a stickler. The one I play all the time is one called No Man's Sky, which is more of an exploration thing. You're sort of flying around an infinite universe, landing on planets, and you mine and you build and you
So I might
explore.
like
And
stuff
that's
like that.
yeah,
I always
yeah.
hated games, but I mean, I like games like old games where you just go across the screen and you jump on stuff and you do your stuff, but you're not going like 3D because I get lost in a game. Like I'm going that way, this way. I'm like, where am I? I mean, I'm terrible at directions. Anyone will tell you that. And yeah, so that just makes it more complicated. So going cross screen is one thing, but also, when you're like you jump and you land in a hole and you die and you do that 10 times in a row, and I just get frustrated. Like I don't have time in my life to die 10 times in a row.
So you
Um,
do rage quit then? You just throw your controller down
yeah,
and
like
spin off?
yeah. So I've just never liked it. I did used to like The Sims because I
Yeah,
like building a house and decorating a house, and then I get a bit bored and then they get depressing and I'd delete them and start again. But I like that side of it. So I feel like
yeah,
exploration I would do. I actually play a game on my phone called June's Journey, which I discovered listening to the Girls Next Door podcast. It was a girls from the Playboy Mansion TV show. They've got a Girls Next
yeah.
Level podcast, and they advertised it on there. And I was like, oh, what is it? And it's like set in the 1920s. The artwork's amazing, and you just find stuff and you build your like town. And like at the moment, they've got like a Wizard of Oz questing on there, so you get Oz characters. I
Oh,
quite
there you
like that
go.
because you can't die. I mean,
Oh,
even that sometimes they have games within the games, and sometimes they're timed, and I run out of time, and that makes me cross. So I quit those games. I only play the like main one.
yeah. Oh, see, the only game I play on my mobile is one. It's a Star Wars one, Galaxy of Heroes, which
Okay.
is a turn-based thing. So yeah, I mean, there when it first came out and when I first started playing it, I was like ranked quite highly, but I think it's become very popular now, and so like my ranking has gone way down. So which is fine. I just play for fun. I
Yeah.
don't pay. I mean, a lot of people sort of pay for additional bits.
Yeah,
I don't do
I
any of that.
actually have fallen into that. I didn't for months. I think I've been playing Tuesday for about a year now. But you have like a monthly quest, and if you pay it's like £10, you get like extra stuff. So I'm like, oh, it's only £10. but I
Yeah,
leave it there.
and that's what they do. That's how they get you in.
That's how they get you
Oh,
in.
it's
But
only a fiver. Before
yeah.
you know it, you've spent 40.
Well, yes, because last month I'd nearly completed this photo album quest too, and I did spend an extra £10 to complete that. So yeah, I'm one of those suckers.
Yeah, they've hooked you right
Mm.
there.
It's true. It's true. So how did you
Yeah.
start out in film?
So when I was a little whippersnapper, I think I was about 6. I remember watching a cine film that my dad made. He had a Super 8 cine camera, and this little film he called it Fairies, and it was just only like about 4 or 5 minutes long, and it was just fun. Him and his friends, sort of in the '60s, playing around. So there would be like someone would run behind a tree, and then another person would appear the other side. And it was just done by him stopping the camera, swapping the
Mhm.
people around, starting it without moving the camera. But at the time, for me, that was quite magical because we were watching this in the front room with the projector and the screen and everything. And so I said to my dad, I'd like us to make something. So we started doing animations. So I made one with my Star Wars figures and things like that. And then, as time went on, I started saving up my pocket money so I could buy my own roll of film, started making my own animations. And then eventually I started making them with my friends. So it wasn't just animations, it was more live action, but they were all silent. So there was no sound. Um, so I would just play music on a tape deck whilst
Right.
people were watching it. And then when I was at school, the school finally decided to trust me with one of the school video cameras. So I used to borrow that during the holidays, and I'd make sort of films at home with my friends. And then eventually, me and my dad went halves and buying our own camera. And yeah, it just sort of snowballed from there. And I just kept making films and making films. And then I was always doing loads of films and stuff. And then one day I made a film called Overtime, which is a fan film, Star Wars fan film. And I did it to raise money for a charity
Mhm.
called the Nystagmus Network because my youngest son had nystagmus, which is an eye condition. And we started put it online. This is in the early days of YouTube, and it sort of started to got about sort of 300-400 hits over about 2 months. And we entered a few film festivals with it. I was really sort of getting into trying to get into festivals. And anyway, it got picked up for a festival in Poland called the Pole 8. And I was a friend with someone who worked at the local Gazette, the newspaper, and I sort of said, "Oh, you could do an article on us. We're getting our film shown." So we did. This was in 2008, and he did this really big article about us making this film in the premises of my employer because that's where we shot it. It was shot at a Barclays building in Basingstoke, and who I work for, and they let us use their premises to make this video sort of in the evenings whilst everyone had gone home. And they allowed me to show it in their canteen to raise money for charity. So they were doing some really nice things for us. But this was 2008, and which is when the credit crunch happened.
Mm.
And the article that was in the Gazette ended up being picked up by the Daily Mail and other establishments, and then they ran a news line saying Barclays laughs at the credit crunch.
Oh dear.
So I was instantly pulled into this sort of spotlight,
Mm.
which I wasn't really prepared for, because everyone had done everything in good faith, and Barclays have been really kind to me to let me to make the film on their premises, and they were helping me by helping me show it to raise money for this charity.
Mhm.
But all the newspapers kept forgetting that it was for charity. They just used it to almost attack
Yeah.
Barclays, which is really,
Well,
really
it's the
unfair.
Daily Fail.
So I was pulled into the limelight, and we had like a fake trailer for a fake sequel at the end. And then I decided to then, hey, look, everyone's looking at us. Our viewership went up to like 60 odd thousand in overnight.
Yeah.
I said, so that was kind of the main sort of pivot for me because I was always making fun stuff. And then when that hit, everyone wanted to know what I was going to do next. So
Mm.
I did a sequel, which wasn't as good, but I still enjoyed it. And then I started meeting new people at sort of smaller film festivals.
Mm.
And yeah, people were really enjoying what we were doing, and I started writing and making proper content. So I've been always been into doing it. Just
Mm.
I would say that was the moment where I went in a very different direction, and always loved horror, and then I
Yeah.
started doing always did dark comedies to start with, and then it wasn't until 2012 I did a film called Addict, um, which was a very dark horror film, serial killer film based on a true life story. And we did that. It was a feature. It took me a couple of years to shoot, and we all did it for no money and
Yeah.
real indie style. And I did that. We got it out in 2013. It hit a few festivals and then just languished on the internet for a while. And But that was my first love of getting into horror, and then I just really went horror, horror, horror all the way after that. And finally, Addict is now on Amazon Prime, which is great
Oh,
for the
everyone
first
can
time
watch it.
in 10 years, whatever.
So your school let you take home a video camera. My school let
Yeah.
me take home the hamster.
Oh,
Did you
okay.
did you have that? School hamsters,
Yeah,
like last year of primary school, and people would be allowed to take it home for the weekends.
yeah,
And I was never allowed pets when I was like until I was at high school. My mum just doesn't like pets, and she always thought she'd end up looking after them, which kind of did happen.
yeah.
When I got pets. But anyway, I got to take the hamster home for Easter for like the 2 weeks, and I was just thinking, please don't die. It didn't die. I kept the hamster alive, and it
Good.
it was called Rambo, and it
Oh,
I don't know who ended
Rambo.
up with Rambo because at the end of the year someone like got to keep it, and then they got new hamsters for the next class. So
Yeah,
don't know who ended up with Rambo.
that's a good name. Do you know
It
what?
was
This is a little secret I don't tell many people, but now too many. That used to be my nickname for a bit.
Rambo. Explain.
Rambo. I'll explain that. I used to be obsessed with the Rambo films when I was a kid. I was a weed. I was skinny as anything. And it was when Rambo 2 came out. Um, in the paper, I think it was the Sun newspaper. Mum and Dad used to get the Sun. It had this thing and get a body like Rambo. Follow these instructions, sort of thing. Do this exercise, that exercise. So I started doing it, and then I told someone at school. So they just sort of called me Rambo for a joke.
Did you get the body
And
like
it,
Rambo? Did it work?
God no, nowhere near. I stayed as skinny as a rake until I started working in an office, and then I just put all the weight on.
It's
But
lovely
yeah,
being
it
young,
was
isn't it? I was saying this to somebody yesterday. I was like, I just want to be 20 again, where you can eat as much as you like, not go to the gym and stay skinny.
yeah, and I didn't do anything, and
No,
I was a beanpole for many years.
I feel like I need
But
to
yeah,
cancel my gym membership because I've been once this week, and like I think I went twice last month. I think I'm paying a gym membership and I go like twice a month. I really need to. I either need to start going or I need to stop paying. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? One or the other. So I'm going to see how well I do in December, and then if it doesn't pick up, then I may quit January and
So
just
what's putting you off then? Why is it? Is it just because it's too cold
yeah. So
outside,
I
or
wake up in the morning and like sometimes when Kyle gets up at 6:30, like a few of my friends go at 6:30. They go before work. They're really dedicated. But like I'll pack him off to work, do his pack lunch, whatever, and then I just go back to bed because I'm like, oh, and I have all intentions of going to the gym, but the cats are in bed, and I think, oh, I'll just
oh
get back
no,
in with the cats. So, but then in the summer, I don't know what my excuse was in the summer either. The summer, I'm very much like, if I don't go first thing, like it cuts into the day too much. So if I go to the gym at like 9 o'clock, I'm not home by like 10, 10:30, and
yeah,
then by the time I've showered and I'm ready for the day, it's like lunchtime. That's the half my day gone. So I really need to be in there by 7 if I'm going to do it. And it's just, I mean,
yeah.
especially now it's winter and it's just dark and it's very cold. I mean, it's actually a t-shirt today. So I think when we first recorded this, I was freezing all day. But I got this morning with the heating on and I've had it on all day. So it's actually quite toasty in here. And I'm going to
Lovely.
keep it that
No,
way. But
I go swimming twice a week at the local sort of gym leisure
yeah.
centre thing, and I go at 7 in the morning.
Yeah,
And I have to say, now that it's getting darker, there's fewer and fewer people
yeah.
turning up.
My gym's
So, which
actually
is
really
making it
busy in
brilliant.
the morning. It's actually super busy first thing. Like when I first moved up here, I started going like a week, like morning gym club, and my friends used to go at the same time, and I mean they still do. But like you'd get the same people in every day at 6:30. I'd be there. Um, so I don't see those
Mm.
people anymore. I've become like a 7 or 8 o'clock person, but yeah, I need to do one or the other. Either start going or stop going, and then just do yoga instead. Like I do my hikes, but this year's been quite slow on the hike front as well. So if I can do lots of hikes and yoga,
Yeah.
then I probably don't need to go to the gym. I mean, I only
So
walk
where do you like hiking?
anywhere. I mean, I picked up hiking in lockdown actually. So me and my friend, we were like,
Hmm.
well, I think you know Megan, don't you? Megan Lockhurst. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Megan and Cheryl, their other
Yeah.
friend.
No, Megan.
So we started meeting up in lockdown when you were allowed to meet up outside, even though we kind of did live very far apart. I think you were meant to go to a local park. We'd like drive and meet in the middle. So
Yeah.
could have been anywhere, and we used to do big hikes, but we've done like Dorset coastline. We've done a lot around Surrey, like Epping. Like now I'm up here, I've done quite a bit in Scotland. We've done like Scafell Pike, Snowdon, Kinderscout. So we like a little mountain or
Oh
two.
wow.
Yeah, just anywhere. I mean, I do my daily, like if I'm hiking here, like on a morning, I'll just go like along the coast path here, and I'll do like
Yeah.
like a small hike. I do like a 6 mile if I'm on my own. Like so,
Hmm.
literally walk to the beach along the coast and then back again. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I mean, Northumberland's got some amazing places to hike. So
No, I can imagine.
yeah,
Never. I mean, I used to do. It's been a while, but I used to do hiking. I've been to Nepal a few times.
have you? Wow.
Um, hiked the Himalayas. I
Oh, so I said
recommend.
a mountain or two, but mine are little. You're in the Himalayas, putting me to
Yeah,
shame.
the Himalayas are an incredible experience. I
Oh,
would recommend going there in a heartbeat. The people are lovely. The scenery is incredible, and that feeling of um, being able to achieve something
mm.
is incredible. But yes, I've done that. I've done the Cairngorms. Have you ever been up there in Scotland?
No. Well, where are
You
they
should.
in Scotland? Are they further
So
north? Are
if
they
you
like,
there's a yeah there's a near Aviemore.
I don't know what Aviemore
So
is.
it's
So
in
we were
Scotland.
like in the borders. So we sort of, whatever's there. I couldn't really tell
Well,
you where.
when you get a chance, look it up. The Cairngorms.
Right,
It's the sort of the ski resort for Scotland.
right.
So you go to Aviemore, and then you sort of go to the base car park. I mean, I haven't been for a few years now, but there's like a car park, and they've got a funicular railway that takes you to a like a little cafe that's at the top or near the top,
That's
and
cheating.
then it is cheating because you're not allowed to walk to the actual top from the restaurant. If you want to get to the top, you've got to start from the car park. So they
To
stop
walk.
you from getting onto, unless you're a skier, you're not allowed onto the mountain from the cafe.
But you are if you
So
walk from the bottom.
yeah. So if you go to the if you pull up in your car park and start at the bottom, you are allowed to walk all the way to the top
Well, what kind
because
of
the
weird
idea is they
rule is that?
because I think the only people that would do that would be people that are prepared. They'd have all the gear.
Oh,
Because if
right.
you
So
were
it's
able to, if you were
quite,
just like, you can imagine, an old couple getting up to the cafe and then going for a wander. It's not the great conditions. People die up there because of the
yeah.
snow and stuff.
Well, Ben
But
Nevis
it's
has been on my list for ages, and
yeah.
we just haven't managed to do that. Like this year's just kind of been a busy year, so that's kind of on the list for next year. But I
And
don't
the
know where to
cool
go
thing
because
about
obviously there's lots of midges, but it's also quite rainy, isn't it, in Scotland? So we need to kind
yeah,
of pick a good time to go.
a good thing about the Cairngorms that the only wild herd of reindeer are on the Cairngorms.
Oh, wow.
So, and there's like a charity that you can go to and you can pay them some money and they would lead you because they track them overnight and they
Right.
will take you to see them and you can go and feed them and stuff in the wild,
That is
which is
amazing.
a
Knowing me,
brilliant
I'd get skewered
experience.
by a reindeer or something.
I was thinking of that because you just saw the little reindeer, the pink reindeer in front of your lovely pink
Yes.
Christmas tree.
Yes, it's very horror, isn't it? My tree.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, yeah. I mean, the posters are great. The Bride of
Yeah.
Frankenstein and your
My
tombstone.
grave. Yeah.
Can't see
And the one behind me
yeah,
is actually Barbie. I got that last time I was in London. I had like
yeah,
like I'm like two halves to me, isn't there? So I'm like, I'm like dark and batty and horror, but then I'm also pink and sparkly and very Barbie. And I think it was last year when I was in London. I'm sure it's when I came down for Horror on Sea. I went to the Design Museum and they had the Tim Burton exhibition on at the same time as the Barbie
Yeah.
exhibition. So I went and took myself and I did both of them like one after another. But that was where that came from, the Barbie thing. So it's like the original Barbie measurements before they
Ah,
made her more human. So, so yeah.
yeah.
So I mean,
I'm actually there's a Wes Anderson thing going on in London at the minute, so I'm going to go there next
yeah.
week.
I just saw something today for
Hmm.
an like an esoteric, like haunted doll exhibition. Is it the Vaults? I think it is it not Waterloo? Is it London
Ooh,
Bridge? I think where they had a Marilyn
I don't
exhibition
know.
at one point and they've had like an Elvis thing there. I think it's there and it looks really good. It's like loads of haunted stuff.
Haunted dolls.
Well, not just dolls, like artifacts from around the world that are supposed to be haunted. I think it would be quite cool.
Hmm.
Also, I would love to go to a museum of haunted dolls. I mean, who wouldn't?
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
It does sound amazing. So
Um,
I don't know.
I
Next time,
will
if
look
it's
that
still on
up.
next time I'm in London, then this is what I miss about being not in London. It's like I didn't go out that much in London by the end of it. Like my party days were all behind me, and I didn't really, utilize London as much as you could. Like I hated going
Yeah.
shopping because it's busy, so I'd rather shop online. But it was
Mm.
like, when there's an exhibition on or something, and you can just, jump on the tube and go. Whereas for me, it's like I'd have to trek 5 hours to London, book a hotel,
Yeah.
and it seems like a lot to go
I
to an
mean,
exhibition.
for me, it's an hour on the train to London from where I live.
Even
But
that I
even
would
that,
probably
too
think was
much.
too far. I was too spoilt. Like I
Yeah.
lived in zone two, so everything was too easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I like going to London, but and there's so much going on in London, but
yeah,
it is a bind to get to.
yeah. I mean, if I lived an hour away, I probably would do it. I say that. I don't know. I bet you I wouldn't. I bet if I was only an hour away,
No.
I would still be
See,
like,
I
oh,
keep
too
thinking
much
I'd do more
effort.
in London.
I mean, I
I
never
just
even go
don't.
into Newcastle. And Newcastle's about 40 minutes on the metro, and I don't even do that.
Really?
No.
Yeah, but Newcastle's kind of fun.
It
It's
probably
really
is if
a lot
you're
of fun.
younger. I mean, I don't like going out. Like, I like my early nights. Like, I like to be home by 6 o'clock in my pajamas. I'm like an old lady. But, and yeah, I suppose if I went to bars and things, but like I don't. So, I mean,
Okay.
we occasionally go into shop and we'll get some lunch or something, but I don't think there's not as much go on. I mean, there are a few museums in Newcastle I haven't been to, but
You know, as long as they're not football ones,
they're not football ones. No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, no. Who do you
Something I was going
support?
to ask you actually. Um, Me, well, I don't really support any team, but my family, we all come from the East End of London, so
Are you
we're
West
all
Ham?
Arsenal supporters.
Arsenal.
No, Arsenal. Yeah, because
Okay, you
that
say
my
East
mum and
End
dad,
of
they're all
London. I'm expecting West Ham, Leighton, Charlton.
no. Well, that's the the team that they've always supported as a family.
Okay,
Because I'm a Londoner myself. I was
right.
born there, but yeah, and they all still do. So if anyone asks me, I just say Arsenal because that's what the rest of the family supports. But I'm not a particular fan of football.
No,
Um,
I'm the
yeah,
same.
I like
Like
goalball though.
I would say Norwich. And when I lived there, I occasionally went to games and like you
Yeah,
sort of knew what was going on, but I mean I couldn't tell you who the manager is. I couldn't name you one player or even where they are in or in what league they're in right now. So like
yeah,
I'd say Norwich, but I don't really care
no,
about football.
no. As I said, the sport that I do sort of, I'm a coach for a sport called goalball,
Right.
which is a sport for visually impaired athletes.
Mhm.
So it's an incredible sport, and it's the only sport that was designed for people with a disability, where all other disabled sports are an adaptation of an existing sport.
Mhm.
Goalball is a sport in its own right,
How does it
and
work? What are the rules?
so you've got a 9 meter wide goal at each end of a court,
Mhm.
which is sort of badminton court size, so sort of about 12 meters, I think. Um, and you've got a team of 3 players on each side, or actually on court at any one time,
Mhm.
and they wear these things called shades. They're like blindfolds, and they have to throw the ball to try and score at the other end. The ball has a bell in it, so they can hear it. Um, and they can the court's tactile, so where they've taped up the lines,
Hmm.
there's like a piece of string that runs through it, so they can feel where the court is using their hands and their feet.
Right.
But they can talk to each other when they have possession of the ball. um, or well, yeah, there's loads of rules about it, but yeah, that's basically it. They're blindfolded and they've got to try and score, uh, against the other team,
I feel like
and it
bits
can
of
get quite
string running
brutal.
across the court. Do they not like running like decapitate themselves? That would be a horror film. Or
Oh
like,
no,
or,
it's on the floor.
oh right, okay,
It's taped down, so it's underneath
okay.
the tape.
So they don't trip over it.
Um,
They don't. Right.
yeah, no, I mean, to be honest, when teams sort of know each other quite well, you can see them running around the court almost like a ballet, and you just think it's incredible because they're all blind.
Right.
One, they're visually impaired anyway, but they've got the blindfolds on, so
Blindfold
they
on.
cannot see each other. And it always amazes me how they can move around the court,
Yeah.
and
I
not
suppose if
bang
you
into
don't
each
have
other.
one of your senses, your other senses become more heightened. So like you're sort
Yeah,
of aware of like you sense where, I don't know, people are, I guess.
yeah, I guess so. So yeah, they use the ball is it's a 2 kilogram ball, just under, and so it's quite heavy. And they can throw it sort of between 40-45 mile an hour. So
Mm.
if you think you've got that being thrown at your face and you can't see it coming,
Yeah.
you've just got, and you're just defending, putting your body in the way. I've seen, my son's broken his finger and his hand
Oh,
2 or 3 times now. I've seen plenty of broken noses. I've seen
oh
a broken
no.
ankle. So it can be quite a brutal sport.
Mm.
It's incredibly fun to watch. And yeah, so do you remember when we had our first chat?
Yes.
I was talking about the film called Bring Her Back, and I
Hmm.
was saying how it's probably my favorite horror film of the year,
Yeah.
almost my favorite film of the year. And there's a moment in there where the main character, who is visually impaired, they
Mm.
for about 30 to 40 seconds she plays goalball, and it's the first time I've ever seen goalball, um, in a feature film. So
Yeah.
I was really excited for that moment.
That's really cool. It's like bringing an awareness to something that not like I would never have heard about it had you not told me about it. So
Yeah,
I guess a lot of
I
people
think
would be in the same boat. But
it's
Jeff, we're running out
worth
of time for
yeah,
part
we
one.
are. Sorry.
We've got like about a minute left before it cuts us off. So I will see you back here in part two when we pick up where we left off. Welcome back to the Scream Princess podcast. Welcome back to part two of the Scream Princess podcast. So I can't believe that's my final time I'm going to have to hit record for 2025. And I can't believe I've managed 52 whole podcasts where I've not forgotten
That's
to do that.
incredible.
That is incredible because
It
it's
is
the kind of
incredible. I know
thing
how hard it is.
it's the kind of thing I fully expect myself to do as well. It's just go through the whole thing and then be like, oops. Yeah. But no, hang on that. I'm just yeah, no, just checking. I was just like, I'm just gonna make sure the record button is before I say all that, and then it's not.
Yeah.
Yes, we are there. So, was there a film you watched when you were a kid and you were like, that's what I want to do? I want to be a director.
So I would stereotypically Star Wars, in '77. That was the one that got me excited into sort of storytelling and fantasy and science fiction and films. I would say that, but I think the film that I could say that definitely got me into wanting to be a filmmaker was probably my dad's film, which
Mm,
was called that short one called Fairies. But I was interested in film because of Star Wars.
right.
I'd seen, Disney movies and stuff like that up until that point, but nothing really got me excited about going to the cinema until I saw Star Wars. But I was very, very young. I was probably about 5, I think, when it came
Yeah.
out. But it stuck with me. I can still remember elements
Mm,
of that experience. So yeah, I would definitely say that. But the film that got me into horror was John Carpenter's The Thing.
right.
When I was a kid, a friend of the family who used to work abroad quite a lot, he managed to obtain on a pirated videotape. So this is about '82 when it was at the cinema. Obviously, I was way too young to see it, but we went round his house and he put it on, and I remember there was like, all the like, the friends and family there, and then all the little kids at the front watching this on the telly, and I just remember it being so terrifying
Yeah.
that halfway through the film, the kids asked if they could stop it, me included. So they turned it off. We watched Sleeping Beauty on VHS, and then when that was over, the littler ones decided to go off and play. But there was me
Uh-huh.
and some of the others, sort of the older ones. So, well, can we finish that film now?
Right.
So, and then I was just totally blown away by sort of the atmosphere and the special effects. And I think that was the film that definitely made me want to get into horror
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah. I see. I've only watched that for the first time, I think probably this year, you know.
Oh
It's
wow!
the one with, is it Kurt Russell? Is he in it? Have I made that up?
Yep.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I watched it this year. I think earlier this year. If not this year, last year. But yeah, I mean I really liked it. It was good. It was.
Yeah. I did. It was just the tone of it. It was
Mm,
depressing. It's kind of. I love films with snow in anyway.
yeah. Because
There
you can
was
call
a.
them a Christmas film because there's snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you made a Christmas film or a film that you can call Christmas film?
Yes, I have. I did one called Christmas Sleigh, which we shot, I think it was either 2013 or 2014, and we shot it in Bulgaria. But it was set in Scotland, but they booked Bulgaria, like, a little log cabin in Bulgaria,
Yeah.
because they wanted to guarantee snow. And we shot it in a February, and it was just a really mild February in Bulgaria. So actually, there was a bit of snow on the floor that was kind of frozen, hadn't melted, but we didn't get snow. So we actually had to go right up into Borovitz, into the mountains to film, like, a scene where we're building a snowman and doing a snowball fight, like the typical, like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I did that one, and I got strangled by Santa with some tinsel. And there's another film
Nice.
called Nightmare on 34th Street. I don't know if it's been released. I have a feeling it hasn't. I don't know. I shot that again a long time ago, and I again got strangled by Santa. I think with his hands, with his gloves, though, not with tinsel. I can't really remember. And it was a really long time ago. So again, I don't know if it's out or not. I mean, I think it's finished. I just don't know whatever happened to it. So
That's
yeah, I mean, I
interesting.
love a good
It's weird when that happens.
Christmas horror. What's your favorite Christmas film?
Uh, oh, um, Christmas film. I think sort of a very Christmas film is probably Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Hmm.
But I do like films that have sort of Christmas elements, like Die Hard. Obviously, I
Yeah.
think is a Christmas movie.
I haven't seen it, and I know
And
like last week when we did this for the first time, you did tell me they're re-releasing it for Christmas in the cinema, and I did tell Kyle because I was like, I feel bad
yep.
if I don't tell him because he'll want to go. I've never seen it. I mean, it might have been on. I think it's a boy film. It's not. I don't think it's the kind of movie that I would necessarily
Oh, I
like,
don't know.
but I don't know. If he wants to go,
I
we'll
think you
go.
might like it because it's got some good banter in it. It's got some good dialogue. The
Yeah.
action's good. And yeah, so I will be seeing that again at the cinema. I like Coming to America because that for me is a Christmas film.
Mhm.
And then the other one was a film called Get Santa, which is a sort of British.
I haven't seen
Uh,
any of these.
no, they're good. I mean,
No.
obviously, the other one, I think it's the story I was going to tell you, wasn't it? The National Lampoon's Christmas
Yeah.
Vacation. So I love watching that. And years ago, when the Blu-ray first came out, before that I used to watch it all the time, every year. I used to work in a video shop. We'd always have it on in the video shop, and it came through. I bought it on Blu-ray. It was a PG certificate, which is exactly what it was
Mhm.
when they had it in the video shop. And so I was watching it with my sort of 6, 7 year old son, and then all of a sudden a scene came on that I didn't recognise, and Chevy Chase used the F word in it, and I was really shocked. And I sort of put my hands over my son's ears. And, whoa, whoa, whoa! What's this? This wasn't in the version we used to play in the shop, and the one I sort of grew up watching. And it said PG on the box. So I wrote to the BBFC and I said, "Oh, since when did the F word be allowed in a PG movie? I thought it was a 12 was the lowest.
Mhm.
And then a couple of days later, they wrote back to me and they told me that they were withdrawing all copies of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation across the country. And then they reissued it again later with the right labels on. So I kept my
I wonder if
copy.
that's worth money then, if that's like, because not many people had that one.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be.
This actually
I
happened
genuinely don't
recently with Wicked, which I haven't seen. But they released the dolls of Elphaba and Glinda,
know.
and somebody posted that the dolls were in B&M, and on the back, the website for it was www.wicked.com. But
Yeah.
www.wicked.com is actually a porn company. It's been a porn company for years. So whoever
Yeah.
designed that box and put that on, like I don't know what they were thinking because I don't know whether it was .org, .net, whatever I don't know.
Wow.
But
That's
I actually went into B&M and I found the dolls and it did have that wicked.com website on it. And I'm kind of wishing I bought them now because, the day later they were all taken off sale. I kind of wish I bought them because they may be worth money. And I actually
yeah.
collect collector's edition Barbies, or I used to, I don't so much now. And when I moved here, I had to get rid of a lot of stuff because I mean, I filled a huge lorry and had no more space. I actually sold a lot of stuff, and I did sell quite a lot of my collector's edition Barbies and did make quite a bit of money on them. But
So
yeah,
what's
I
your
feel
favorite
like
Barbie then?
they could. My favorite Barbie,
Yeah.
I've got the Wizard of Oz collection, so I think they're either late 80s, early 90s. But I've got Dorothy, Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Lion. I don't have the witch. I've got Glinda as well. I don't have well, she wasn't called Elphaba in The Wizard of Oz. That was kind of new from
No.
Wicked. She didn't have that name.
Yeah.
It was the Wicked Witch of the West, but I don't have her.
Oh.
But they're in the loft. So they're kind of I
Yeah.
don't really have anywhere to put them. I mean, I've got a set of five Spice Girls dolls in here. They're kind of over there high up. And I've got a set of Care Bears that I bought recently. I bought them for myself for Halloween, the Universal Horror Care Bears. So I
Yeah.
need to
Yeah.
get some more little shelves, and I might put them around in the studio. So maybe I'll put them high up and dig the Barbies out and put them on shelves.
Yeah. More shelves. That's what you need.
Well, yeah, because high up, which you wouldn't see them like on air, but
Mm.
I've got quite high ceilings. It's a Victorian build, so I can put things high up and they don't ruin my shots or anything.
Cool. Yeah, I've got loads of collectibles at home. I've got a lot of Alien action figures from
Yeah.
the Aliens series. I've got a load of Tron stuff. A bit of a fan of Tron.
Mm.
I've got one of my favorites, which I think you might like, is I have a Creature from the Black Lagoon
Yes,
action figure.
I love. I've got so one of the Care Bears is Creature from the Black Lagoon. It's
Oh, nice.
Creature Care
The
Bear.
cool thing with this action figure is you can stick it in water and you press its tummy and it sucks in the water and then you can squirt people with it.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Creature from the Black Lagoon. My favorite Universal horror film. I think it's just a magical film. I've actually just ordered a top from Vinted and it's got the creature on and it's by Michelin Pitt. So you probably don't, that means nothing to you, but she's a designer
No.
in the States. She has a license for a lot of Universal horror stuff, but she kind of does pin-up style clothing. I ordered this top
Yeah.
and it got a sent last week. And then I looked and it said delivered, and I looked, it's been delivered to a Morrison's in South London somewhere. So I'm like,
What?
yeah. So apparently that's like my, safe place or redelivery place. I'm like, why would you deliver it there? I live in South Shields. Like I've never lived in South London. Like why, like that's bizarre. So I'm now having this whole thing where they're trying to locate it. So I'm really annoyed because I really wanted it.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's a shame.
yeah.
Hopefully you do find
So
it. Hope they
so my
track it
money
down
is
and
like
grab it.
held and the top's not here. So I'm hoping they just send it back to the seller, and then she said we'll just sort it out like privately.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Could you contact the Morrisons?
Well, I don't think you can really do that. I don't know. I mean, you have to go through Royal Mail, and trying to get
Yeah.
on the phone to them is really difficult. I've left a message, and I think Vinted actually try and deal with it for you.
No. No, I love Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Mm.
That was my Halloween movie this year.
Was it?
I yeah, I sat and watched it in 3D. I've got the 3D set up
Oh,
at home, so
wow. I bet that's
so I was
amazing.
I yeah, I've watched it loads of times, but never in 3D. So I was really
When
excited
did
to
they
see
make
it in
it
3D.
3D?
And it
When did
sorry,
they? When do they make it 3D?
Oh, it's made in 3D at the time.
Oh,
It
was
was
it?
a 3D release,
Oh,
but
no way.
yeah, they have released it on Blu-ray,
Yeah.
the 3D version, so you can choose which one to watch.
Oh,
And then the sequel they did, and
I
that's
haven't
also
seen the
3D as
sequel.
well.
I need the
I've
sequel.
got it. I've got it. I just haven't watched it.
You haven't watched it.
Uh,
Apparently, it's good. I
yeah.
need the sequel. I actually
What
went
did
to
you?
see The Wizard of Oz in 3D when they released that for, I think it was like the 80th anniversary, and it was the
Yeah.
Empire in Leicester Square. And it was obviously the Empire's got like the huge screen. It was incredible. And there wasn't that much 3D about it, but the house when it spins, you feel like it's going to land on you and stuff. That was really cool.
Oh, that's cool. I love 3D movies, to be honest.
Yeah, I
The
like them.
best the best experience I've had of late was probably seeing Tron Ares. I
Right.
saw that in IMAX 3D, and it genuinely blew me away from the visuals and the sound and the
Mm,
3D. It was one of it was a cinematic experience, and which you could underline and say, yes, this was definitely a cinematic experience.
yeah.
The sound was so bassy and loud. I
Mm,
genuinely thought that the building was going to collapse
wow.
from the volume of it.
Well, we
So
went to see
yeah,
Jaws this year for the 50th anniversary of Jaws. So we went to see that at the cinema, which was
mm,
great, but you had the option of doing it in 3D or not. And I kind of did want to
yeah,
go in 3D. I don't think Kyle's that bothered. And I said to him, what should I book, 3D or not? And he said, well, it wasn't originally released in 3D, so let's go as it originally was intended. So we didn't watch it in 3D, and now
yeah.
I'm kind of wishing I did watch it in 3D. But yeah,
I
I
have
love,
seen it in 3D,
have
and I
you?
thought the 3D was very good. Mm.
Yeah, I kind of
But I
wish
also,
we did.
on the re-release, I saw it in 4DX,
Oh, wow.
which is where you sit in those
The
chairs that
chairs that move.
rock and shake and
I've
squirt
only
water
done
in your
that once, and
face
I
and all
felt like I
that.
was going to get thrown out of the chair because I'm quite small, and I was like, "Oh, this is I need a seatbelt."
Yeah.
I think that was
And I
that.
found the 4DX a little underwhelming for that
Did
film.
you? Did you get
Wasn't
like
enough
water
water.
sprayed at you and stuff? Do they do that? No,
Yeah,
they do, right?
yeah,
The only thing I've ever seen in
yeah.
4DX was the uh, Oz the Great and Powerful I saw in that in 4DX,
Oh, yeah,
which is a long time ago now, so I'm sure it's probably, you know, more advanced,
yeah.
but
I thought Oz the Great and Powerful. They there was a bit of a I thought it was a missed opportunity because it starts off in black
mm,
and white,
hmm,
and then it goes color when we go into Oz, very much like the original.
yeah.
But it was a 3D film, so what they should have done, like they did with Tron Legacy, they should have had it as a 2D sequence, and then when you go into Oz, then it becomes 3D
Yeah.
and colorful. The
Yeah,
rest
because
of
it
that
would
would have
be
been,
like it would still lend to what the original idea is, but it would
yeah.
be more for like a modern, yeah, you're right. I agree.
I think they should have done that. But I mean,
Yeah,
it was an all right film. I wouldn't say it was
yeah, it wasn't
rubbish.
great. I mean, I'm very much like I love the Wizard of Oz, and I've read the Frank Baum books. And so, and Return to Oz I love, and you separate them because obviously lots of years later it was made and they're very, very different. And one's musical, one's kind of darker. But then,
Yeah,
like when Wicked came out as a book, I remember seeing it in a shop, and it was a black cover, and the pages were like green metallic, the edge of the book, and the picture of the witch was like embossed on the front in this green. And I remember seeing it and thinking, oh, this is like linked to the Wizard of Oz. Like I'm obsessed with the Wizard of Oz. Bought the book, really didn't like the book. It was very dark, not like Return to Oz dark. It was just not a nice, it was like dark story. And
okay.
then I went to see the stage show in London, and I didn't really love that. Apart from like the two songs, I found it really boring. So I haven't bothered with Wicked at
Yeah,
all. And although, like, I think for me, because it's too far, it's like it's not the Frank Baum Oz. It's not his world that he created. It's somebody else's, and I'm not feeling it. I mean, I'm sure I'll watch it when it's free on Prime
yeah.
or Netflix. I'll watch it, but I'm not paying to watch it.
I think I know the first Wicked is on Sky Movies, whatever. If you get
Yeah,
Sky,
no.
yeah. So I watched it the other day with my daughter. Yeah, I mean, I thought I'd be really excited to see the second one just to see how it all ends, but
Yeah. I mean, it's
I've been
it's
hearing.
bringing the Oz to a new generation, but I honestly feel like if you watched Wizard of Oz, the original, for the first time now, it would still be amazing. Because I watched it in the
Yeah,
80s, and that was still a long time since it was like 1939, wasn't it? So,
yeah,
it was a big jump, and I still thought it was great, and I still watch it like at least once a year. And that's a film that always used to be on at Christmas on the TV. So
yeah.
it's not a Christmas film at all, but I always think, what's your favorite Christmas watches? And I'm like The Wizard of Oz because it used to always be on at Christmas when I was growing up. Because we didn't have Sky, we had, four
I can't
channels.
remember what.
So
Yeah, yeah, ditto. Yeah, I mean, I
yeah,
remember three channels. That's how old I am.
well,
Yeah, we used to. I can't remember what was always on at Christmas when I was a kid.
well, The Snowman,
Um, Probably the Snowman.
The
I
Snowman,
think, yeah.
which I'll
Watership Down
still,
for some reason.
sorry.
I remember Watership Down being on a fair bit as a kid.
That's terrifying for a Christmas. That's a Christmas horror. That's
It is a
terrifying.
Christmas horror. Yeah.
I have got it on DVD. I didn't know I had it on DVD. And I was, oh, 1 second, Jess, that's the door. Hang on. It's the
Okay, no worries.
postman. I'll be back. I'm
No
just going to
worries.
call the cat first. Hold on. I'll be back. That's not the item I thought it was. I think he was just going to leave this next door. Um, yeah. So he was taking a picture of it. I'm waiting for a pop shield so that I
Oh,
can
okay.
do some stuff today. So I'm
Yeah.
narrating the Horror on Sea. I'm out of breath now. Running up and downstairs. I'm narrating the Horror on Sea 13 Bloody Years documentary. And they sent me a
Ooh.
microphone, and I am not technical in any way. I don't know about technology. So I was like, okay, let's see if it works. And I plugged it in yesterday morning. No, morning before. And I was like, I haven't a clue how this is supposed to work, like plugged into my laptop. And then so I messaged Alex, the director, and he was like trying to talk me through it. And then I kind of realized I was like, oh, the light's not on. I think it may be a cable issue. So I ordered a cable, which arrived yesterday morning, plugged it all in. I was like, the cable works. So it works. And I did a little test record, which I somehow worked out how to do myself. And then I spent all day yesterday feeling like a technical genius. Um, but it's a little bit plosive, so I ordered a pop shield. So I'm just waiting for that to come today. And that's my afternoon. I'm going to do the voiceover stuff for that.
That's
That's
really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Really
that's the
am.
plan. Yeah. The script
Have you
this
seen it yet?
my
Has
little
it-
script bit's really good. I really like the script for the like narration. So I
Good.
mean, yeah, I mean, usually when I was in London, I would have just gone to them to record it. But he said, really, it should be you that does it because you've probably done like, most of the horror on sea years. So I was like, yeah, okay. So we've worked it out anyway. It'll be fine. I'll
Good.
work it out.
I'm pleased. I'm really because I was thinking about that the other day, and I was thinking that because I'd seen all the the adverts for it to
Mm.
be screened, and I was just wondering whose voice it would be to hang it all together.
It's just going to be
And I
me.
thought exactly, it couldn't have been anyone else, really,
No,
could it?
it could have been
Um,
Paul, but then we talk about him, so I suppose he couldn't talk about himself.
yeah,
So,
so it's
yeah.
probably best that he's just as much of a enjoys the experience as much as the
Yeah,
rest of us.
exactly, exactly. So
Yeah.
I actually thought it was
So,
going to be the pop shield at the door, which is why I ran, because I didn't want him to like take it away and then I have to wait another day. But
yeah.
it was a jumper that I'd ordered, so I'm still waiting. It said between 2 and 6, so it could be here at any time.
Anytime now.
Could be any time. So what directors have inspired you over the years? Like
Sorry, what directors inspired me?
what directors have inspired you? I think probably
Oh,
Spielberg, because you're a big fan of,
yeah. I think Spielberg did initially,
Lucas.
because I loved all the Indiana Jones films and stuff like
Mm,
that. But I would say over the years, David Fincher,
mhm,
um, James Cameron for sure,
mhm.
John Carpenter absolutely. I think I'm thinking about it, probably John Carpenter more than anyone because of I'm obsessed with how he ends his films.
Right.
So I, you know, whenever I write a film, almost the first thing I think about is how is it going to end? What could be an ending that's going to leave people going shock or leave them with something to think about?
Mhm.
And then I work my way backwards. And I think John Carpenter's films do that. You know, you think of The Thing, They Live, Prince of Darkness, The Fog. They all have these absolute corker endings. Um, and I like that more than anything. Like Prince of Darkness is one of my favorite Carpenter movies, and I know it's quite a divisive ending,
Mhm.
but I adore it. Absolutely adore it. And so yeah, so I would say John Carpenter more as an influence, but people like Catherine Bigelow, I've been an absolute fan of for many years. You know, Near Dark had a huge impression on
Yeah.
me as a youngster growing up. Um,
Yeah, that's a
and
great
but
film.
I absolutely adore Near Dark. You know, from the the cast to the
Mm.
music to the look to the story. I mean, she worked with a guy called Eric Red.
Mhm.
He wrote the film with Catherine, and I've really liked his work as well. He wrote Cohen and Tate, The Hitcher, Body Parts, and stuff like that. And I really liked his work as a writer and a director. Nowadays, I would say the person that I think influences me the most at the minute is Rose Glass. Um, I don't know if you've seen any of her films at all.
Don't think so.
She did a film called Saint Maud.
I haven't
Have you
seen
seen?
it. It's on my watch list that I do want to watch.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime, I think.
Is
Still,
it? Okay.
yeah, it's one of those films that I won't say anything. I don't want to spoil
Yeah,
it,
don't say
but
it.
it's just every element to it is just so good.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful film to look at. I think the acting is amazing, and I just think her vision is right on my street. I quite like horror films that tap into religion,
Mm.
um,
I love
and I think
Stigmata.
yeah, Stigmata was a
Oh,
good
that was a
film.
great film.
Yeah, but I mean, my favorite horror film of all time is The Exorcist 3.
Right.
Um,
I've only seen the first one and I only watched that about 10 years ago.
yeah, if you've got to see the third one. Forget
Right.
all the others. Just watch number 3. Turn it on, lights off, volume up, and you'll be. It's got probably the most scariest sequence in cinema history.
Really? God.
Yeah, and I, and I'm not alone in thinking that. So
I
yeah,
might have a
any
movie night
movies?
tonight. I was supposed to be at Kyle's tonight, but I'm not going now because the kids have got nits. And I'm like, I'm
Oh,
not going anywhere near. He's going to de-knit them,
with
but I'm
long
like, no.
hair as well. You want
Yeah,
to
I'm
stay
like, I'm
clear.
staying away.
Yeah, I don't have that problem.
No.
Um,
Yeah, I was like, I can't afford to get them, so you'll see me next week. Like
so
after
yeah,
the
no,
weekend,
no.
after the weekend.
I love horror that is connected with religion. So and Saint Maud, absolutely, I adored. Exorcist 3, I really like.
Well, I might
But
see if
did
I
you
can
see?
find St. Maud for tonight. I can sit in and just
Yeah,
movie night now.
yeah, it's good. And what's the? I like. I was. What was that film with Sydney Sweeney in that she did recently, where she plays like a nun that goes to a convent or something.
I don't know.
Immaculate, it's
Right.
called. Um,
Okay, that's
it
fine.
was one of these films that I was like, "Oh, I'm not sure where this is going," um, and it was an okay film,
Mm.
but the ending was fantastic. It's horrible, really, really horrible. So it's one of those films that you kind of forgive its its journey because the
Yeah,
ending was a good payoff.
right.
Very much like The Mist. So I do recommend that as well, just because the ending's kind of cool. Um, but yeah, no, I love it when religion and horror mix.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite genre of horror. I
Is
prefer
everything
that more than
horror?
the gory stuff.
Yeah, I love a slasher, but I think that's because of the era that I sort of got into watching horror. And I think like the era that you get into watching horror, that tends to be like your favorite. And so for me, it was very much a slasher. It was like, the resurgence of the slasher in the late 90s and the early noughties. So
Yeah,
they're kind of all my favorite films. And so I'm just, I'm a slasher fan, which is what I loved about Heart Eyes earlier this year, because it really felt like could have been made in the 90s.
yeah.
Did you see it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh,
It's on
you've
my
seen
list
it.
to watch.
Yeah, I really
I
liked
will
it.
get around
Kyle
to.
didn't like it, but he picks holes in stuff. He was like, well, that couldn't happen and that couldn't happen, which is right. It wouldn't happen, but I still liked it. I'm more forgiving, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything else felt very kind of, I don't know. It felt like, because there's a big kind of resurgence
What
of the
about
80s, isn't there now? So with things like Stranger Things kind of really brought the 80s back, and lots of, and like
yeah,
the Fear Street. I know Fear Street, actually, the first one was set in the 90s, but it kind of had an 80s vibe as well. But I feel like it was nice to have,
yeah.
90s resurgence back, which is also in fashion as well. It's funny, like I
Did
look in
you?
shops and there's all these clothes and I'm like, oh, I used to have one of those in the 90s. But I couldn't wear it now because I don't look like I did in the 90s, so it wouldn't really work. So
Are you? Oh, what was I going to say? I was going to ask you something then. I've lost it. Don't you just hate when that happens?
yes, because it happens to me all of the time because I'm old
Yeah, getting
now.
old's what it is for
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Old and
Oh,
forgetful.
something I've been meaning to ask you is something I'm doing with my students here is that we're doing a topic about urban myths.
Right.
So I'm getting them to sort of research sort of local urban myths as well as sort of international ones, and
Okay.
just seeing how they proliferate. Have you got a specific? I know this is really wild and out there, and I didn't prepare you for this
Putting
one.
me on the
Have you
spot.
got a specific urban myth that you're interested in or aware of, or that intrigues you?
So I grew up in Norfolk, so there is the story of the black shuck. And I think probably lots of places have a version, and it's meant to be a black dog. And I don't quite know where he's meant to be, but he's a black dog with red eyes. So it's a little bit, like Harry Potter with the
Yeah,
dog,
yeah,
kind of a little bit like that. But I mean, if you look him in the eye, it's meant to kill you or whatever. So there's the story of the black shark, which actually I don't know. So that's all I know. I can't really think of anything else. But it actually got made into a film, and this was back in the days of was it Love Film or something, where you used to get the DVDs sent through in the
yeah,
post. I think it
yeah,
was
yeah,
back then. And this guy, Norfolk filmmaker, or he calls himself a filmmaker, had made a film called Black Shuck. So I was like, great, I'm going to order it from Love Film. And it's not like Netflix now, where if you don't like it, you just turn it off. 20 minutes in,
yeah.
you can skip. You've ordered the DVD to come to your house, and you have to send it back before they send you more. So you kind of want to
Hmm.
persevere, if you started watching something. And it was basically him holding a camera, so you can't see him, it's his like POV, and he's got a black Alsatian, and it's just him walking around this black Alsatian, like with an axe and stuff. And it was ridiculous. It was nothing to do with the black shark, it was just there happened to be a black dog. Like, it would have been funnier if he'd have put a chihuahua in it or something. But yeah, it
Yeah.
was the worst film. I think his name, I shouldn't really name him, Paul Easter, I think his name was. And he sent me a friend request on Facebook, like, and I didn't accept him because it was terrible. It was terrible. We've only got 10 minutes left, and I want to like lean into Christmas a little bit because it's going out for
Okay.
Christmas. I've
Let's
I've
do it.
got a little Christmas quick fire round for you.
Okay, let's get it.
So we've already had one of them. So best Christmas horror film.
Best Christmas horror film.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to go with Scrooge. It's not a traditional horror, but it's got ghosts and things in it and zombies. So
you can
I'm
have
going to
it.
go with
You can
Scrooge.
have it.
Yeah.
Um, who survives the apocalypse? Mariah Carey or Michael Bublé?
Oh my God. Um, I think Michael Bublé.
Yeah, I'd save him too.
I just don't like the Mariah Carey song,
I used
and
to
I've
like
avoided
it,
it.
but it's like, like Last Christmas by Wham. It never gets old.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was out, I think, before my time, but like I've always loved it. But the Mariah Carey one now just grates on me. I liked it to start with.
With,
Favorite
with
Christmas
the
snack?
Wham song, is that Whamageddon? Have you
Yes.
had the Wham song play yet? Has Whamageddon hit
Uh,
you?
yeah, I have, because I keep putting Christmas music on, like just on YouTube, Christmas mixes on the telly when I'm cooking and stuff. So I've definitely heard
Fair
it.
enough. I haven't heard it yet, and I'm trying to hold back.
Favorite Christmas snack?
Oh, roast potatoes. It's not a
That's
snack,
not a
but
snack. That's Christmas
all
dinner.
right. Snack. All right. I would go with there's this uh, a brie you can get that's got truffle through the middle,
Ooh,
and that is deadly. I
that
love
sounds
it
like
too
I
much.
would have loved that when I was not vegan. But yeah, I
I'm
love cheese.
sure they do a vegan version.
They do a
Yeah.
vegan camembert. So there used to be a brand called Nourish that did an incredible vegan camembert. And I don't know whether you can still maybe get it down south. You can't get it up here anywhere, or whether they just don't put it in supermarkets anymore. I feel like it's much harder to get stuff in the northeast than it was in London. Um, but I think there's another brand, Via Life. They did one. It's not quite the same. It wasn't
No.
quite, you know, what you expect from camembert. Sprouts, yay or nay?
Say that again. Sorry.
Sprouts, are they a yay or a nay?
God, nay. Sprouts
Nay.
deserve to die.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, but I did do them last year, and I did them with chestnuts and bacon or vegan bacon. And then
Yeah.
I made a Christmas carbonara on Boxing Day with the leftover stuff, and then I made like a sauce, and it actually really worked. So maybe I'm
Okay.
becoming a yay. I don't know. Not
I've
just
had
not just boiled ones.
raw
Maybe
sprouts fine.
are they all vile?
No. A raw sprout actually tastes okay,
Okay,
but a
like a
cooked sprout is just
yeah.
disgusting.
I'm wondering if you air fried them, if they'd be better. Because I think kale's a bit meh until you air fry it
Mm.
or roast it.
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah,
because
I
they're
agree.
boiled. I don't like any boiled vegetables actually. Like I don't boil my carrots, I don't boil my cauliflower. The only thing I'll eat boiled as a vegetable is peas and broad beans. Anything else gets roasted or air fried.
What about sweet corn?
I mean, yeah, I guess you could boil sweet corn. Like I tend to do mine on the cob though, and then I stick it in the
Oh,
microwave
okay.
or the air fryer.
Yeah, okay.
I like it barbecued. But I mean, yeah, I mean, in a soup or something, then yeah, I guess it would be boiled. And my final quick fire is, what is your Boxing Day ritual?
Boxing Day ritual, probably to collect all the leftovers, and then we tend to put it out on a table. So we don't really cook on
Mhm.
Boxing Day. We just tend to everything that we've kind of bought for Christmas Day and all the leftovers from the Christmas meal, we just put out on the table
Yeah.
and just let anyone pick at any time whenever they feel hungry. So there's no breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It's
Mhm.
just go to the table and grab what you want when you want it.
Yeah, constant food. So I can't do stuff like that now because the cats, like when I had dogs, they
Um,
couldn't reach the table. And she's not too bad. Like she'll go and sniff and I mean she probably if it was cheese or something, she would eat it. But Midnight will eat anything, including if it's
yeah,
not food. So I have to keep all food completely hidden in cupboards. Like I can leave fruit out, he leaves fruit alone. But anything
yeah.
else he's just into. So there's no way I could do that. He'd eat it and end up in hospital because
So what's your Boxing Day
Boxing Day,
tradition?
I've always gone on a Boxing Day walk. I've always got up in the morning, had a breakfast, so maybe like make a bubble or something with like leftover
Mhm.
stuff and do a breakfast. And then I've always gone on a walk. So when I lived in Norfolk growing up, we'd go like to the beach or some fields or something. When I lived in London, I mean, London, I worked quite a lot of Christmases, and then Boxing Day, I'd maybe go to Epping Forest with the dogs or something.
Yeah.
Can you hear the cat now? He's now trying to eat a plastic bag. This is what he's doing.
What?
I don't know what's in it. Oh, there's a wig in it. Midnight, stop. He's yeah. He started carrying my mail up. So if I get a package like a bag delivered,
Yeah.
like I came up earlier and I found something in the living room and I was like, what's this? And he's carried mail up and just chews the packet. So
Nice.
yeah, he's now into a wig. But
If you go and having to go and collect it.
I collected that one. This one, I don't know what he's doing. It's not a food. He's just so I don't know. Because he was quite ill earlier this year, and I had to be really careful with his food now because he's on a special diet, and it's just made him way more greedy because I don't leave biscuits out or anything because he can't have them. So I mean,
That's
she
because that's
never.
what he's in weeks.
Yeah, but now he just wants everything, and like he ate the other day, he stole a cat food sachet and
Yeah.
he would eat the foil. So we had to get it off him, and he savaged my hand. And I had like it looked like I had a cat paw print on my hand of just like claws. You could
Yeah.
see his toe. So we have to be really careful with him. But I mean, you can tell he's
Oh,
fine because he's being naughty. So, but he's just I can't remember saying, yeah. So now last year, I think last year I had a cold for Christmas. So I wasn't
no.
really up to much Christmas Day or Boxing Day. And we did go to the beach though. And I think this year I'm going on a Christmas Day hike actually because Kyle's at work. So Christmas isn't happening until he gets back from work this year. So I'm going to take
Right.
myself on a hike Christmas Day and
So
Boxing Day.
Boxing Day is more Christmas Day
Yeah, well,
this
no, I
year.
think he might be working that too, but he'll be home like early evening. So I'll just
Yeah.
have a lie in this year, go to the beach, come back, and then prep dinner and everything.
Nice.
And
So what sort of, because you're vegan, so what sort of vegan Christmas dinner is it?
so I've bought the vegan Wellington. It's a mushroom Wellington from Asda. It's incredible. Usually, if I'm doing a roast, then I'll make a nut roast from scratch, but this Wellington's really good. I think he's going to probably want a turkey thing, and usually he will just put up with my nut roast or whatever. He doesn't mind it, but
Yeah.
you know, I'll let him have something in the oven that is turkey-ish, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Has
Jeff,
his
we're
own
out
little
of
tray.
time again. Yeah, he'll have his own tray. We're out of
No.
time. So thank you so much for coming on. Have a wonderful Christmas.
You
Um,
too.
yeah, and I will see you hopefully in the new year.
Yeah. Let's make a point of that.
Yes.